renting and property management, or you know, with tenancies and stuff like that. Is that what you were expecting?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I can answer any questions as well. How many of you here would like to get out of home and go renting at the moment? That's exactly what my daughter said as well. So I'm going to tell you really the true facts, and I'm sure you might change your mind after that. So with renting, you need to obviously come up with money. Now, when you first go renting, they expect that you have at least 3 to 4 weeks of bond money. So if the rent is say $300, then you need either 3 weeks or 4 weeks of that. And that's just the bond. So that's the bond that goes to the tenancy tribunal, which is where they hold all the bond money. And the only time you get that money back is after you leave and everything is as they saw it, you get that refunded. You also need, depending whether you're paying rent either weekly or fortnightly, you generally have to pay 1 to 2 weeks up in front as well. So starting out, it's quite a bit of money. So that's one thing. I'm not trying to put you off, I'm just trying to tell you the true facts. Sometimes it is actually not too bad to be still at home. There's 2 different, if you are to go renting, there's 2 different tenancies that you can have. One is a periodic. Now what that means is that you sign up a tenancy agreement. There's no fixed time. So if you choose to leave after a certain, you've been in there and you decide, no, it's not for you and you need to leave, you need to give the landlords 21 days to leave. With the landlords, they need to give you 42 days notice if they're looking to move in themselves or sell the property, but generally other than that 90 days notice. So they can't just give you 21 days notice. With the next tenancy, it is called a fixed term. So exactly what it says, it's fixed term. So you actually need to, generally you sign that and you're in a fixed term for 6 months or a year, depending what they decide to do. So if you choose to leave prior to that fixed term period, whether it's 6 months or a year, you're actually still liable for rent up until that time. So unless there's an agreement between yourself and the landlord that it's not working out, you're actually stuck in there. Or if you find somebody else to move in for you, then you need to just make sure that they are suitable to the landlord. So that's fixed term and periodic. Any questions around that? Quiet bunch. Okay. So after that, so that's renting as a tenant. Okay, so what your responsibilities are, you need to make sure you pay your rent on time. Yes?
What's the average age of renting?
The average age? I actually don't know that. In all honesty, average age, like...
Well, what do you need to, how old do you need to be? Is that what you mean?
Generally,
no, like,
you need...
What's the average age people move out?
Oh, move out, the average age that people move out of home, at around your age, and is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty variable. There's no set average age, and I don't think they actually do an average on that. I think it's all situational. Generally, you have to be 18. Most landlords won't let you sign a tenancy agreement unless you're 18. And some, what's that? Yeah, so keep on studying and get a good job. So the responsibilities are that you pay your rent on time, you have to make sure that the grounds are kept tidy and that you manage your anything like repairs or anything. You don't have to fix them, but you do have to let the landlord know if anything breaks down. So that's really all about going renting. And yeah, what sort of things have you guys been learning about that relate to rentals or going out renting or things like that?
All they care about is no parents.
What was it, Jude? What was it?
They've done rights and responsibilities of the renter
Yep.
and the landlord.
Right. Okay. So just sort of learning about your responsibility and what other people's responsibilities are. Is that right?
Yeah. What are some of the pitfalls?
Pitfalls of renting? Okay, the pitfalls of renting are that obviously you have to pay your rent on time, and if you don't, you can lose your bond money. There is, going into a rental property is pretty hard for a lot of people because, as I said, there's like 6 weeks generally of rent that has to be paid up front. So that's one of the pitfalls. Often with rental properties, I guess at this age you go renting with friends and things like that. My daughter just went flatting with a couple of friends, and 3 of them, I must say that one of the friends she's still friends with, and the other one has been a little bit hard. So you've just got to make sure that you have set rules in place, just in yourself as flatmates, that you know who's allowed to stay, when they're allowed to stay, if they use extra power and things like that. Pitfalls, that you still have to maintain the gardens and stuff like that, you guys, unless it's fully furnished. So you can get fully furnished properties, but they generally are a lot more expensive. So setting up a flat, the expenses, of getting a fridge, a washing machine, a dryer, cutlery and all those sorts of things, they can all start adding up.
They come with a stove and hot water, don't they?
Every house will come with a stove and a range hood often, not always, but a range hood, sometimes a dishwasher. What was the other thing you said?
And hot water.
Yeah, hot water, yeah. It has to be provided.
Sometimes for a day because my neighbour's built a house, she's selling it, but it comes with it.
Yeah, they do. Some houses, there's only certain spots. Like the fridge area might be quite thin, or it only might fit a certain kind of fridge. So they do have those. And that's, as I say, it's all sort of dependent really. But generally, most of the other things you have to provide yourself. The good things about renting, I guess, is you don't have those parents saying, can you pick this up, can you clean this up? And you have a little bit more freedom. But it's also taking on that responsibility of being able to pay and do all that sort of stuff. So, where possible, stay at home, work hard, save some money. How many of you guys are here? I'm just going to go on to something that's sort of related. How many of you guys have heard of KiwiSaver? Yeah. Are any of you in KiwiSaver already? Yeah. Is that because you guys have got jobs? Yeah. Yeah, sometimes some parents have set you up as well as a young age. The biggest thing, if you are looking to go renting or whatever you're looking to do, or buying a house further down the track, or going down that track, KiwiSaver can be really good for that. So the earlier you start putting money into your KiwiSaver, the earlier you can potentially get onto the property.
Is it the same as just having a bank account or just holding money in it? Or is it
just a little bit different. So KiwiSaver is set up for either when you want to buy your first house or when you retire. So obviously for you guys, it'll be more when you look to buy your first house.
Well, because I'm with ANZ and I just have a separate bank account, which is just like a savings, but if I take money out of it, it costs $5.
Yeah. I think it's good on you for having a savings account. I think that's brilliant. I think KiwiSaver is just a little bit different in the sense that you can't take money out. And you can only access it for retirement or buying your first home. So it's sort of like a compulsory savings. But when you're working, whether it's part-time or full-time, you pay into it, but your employer pays into it as well. So there's a bit of responsibility for both.
Bus card.
What's that?
Bus card, that's it.
Bus card. You've got a bus card.
Not a car.
Oh. Sorry, I didn't know what you're saying. Okay. So that's just another thing, it's not, a little bit different than renting and things like that. Do you want to know anything else while I'm here about real estate? No. Would anyone here like to be a real estate agent?
What's that?
I'm going to use everything bank.
No, real estate.
If we're renting, can we start out and sell on from that house, or do we have to own a house and then sell on?
You can start your own salon, but you would just need to get permission from your landlord. Yeah. And because I guess with a hair salon, you'd be setting up
Beauty therapy, not
beauty therapy.
So like
If it's beauty therapy, and depending how it is, if you're just using a spare room or something like that, and you're not altering the actual house, you may not need permission of the landlord. as such, but yeah.
Then you talk like someone and then get like a certain car or something and get this going.
It depends what complexity you're doing it on. Like if you're putting up signs as a business and you've got people coming and going all the time, then you would need to let them know. But if it's say you're doing something for your friends and it's occasionally and things like that, it's a little bit different.
Oh.
Going back to your question, what's a real estate agent? So a real estate agent is somebody that sells houses. So
That's what main money.
I wish it was that easy. It sounds like it's really good and you get paid lots of money, but unfortunately you have to do a lot of work to get paid good money. And sometimes you don't get paid anything. So a real estate agent is on commission. So unless you sell a house, you don't actually get paid. So yeah. So we just help people to get into houses or move from other properties and downsize and yeah, do that really. It is fun. No other questions? You guys are a real warm bunch, aren't you? Do you guys all live around this area?
No, not there.
No? All different?
An hour away.
Whereabouts you?
I'm Fern from Radio Environmental.
I'm gonna know you.
Not that far.
This one. I have every day.
What about the rest of you guys live sort of close by and
Who bikes?
I'm afraid to work down.
Who walks to school?
I'm afraid down.
Who comes on the bus? So you worked out how much it costs you per week on the bus?
$20.
Okay, and how much on the card? $20 a week?
So,
oh on the bus card, yeah. I think it's the same. I don't think they give you a discount, do they? No.
you get charged more if you do it in cash. So it's like $1.60 on a bus card and then it's like $2
Yeah.
on cash.
So what Drew's saying is that although you've got your rental costs, you've still got everything else as well. The other thing that you petrol, yeah.
You need a car.
Sometimes you might need a car, but yeah, if you've got a car, obviously got petrol and registration and that. But the other things is house contents insurance. So everything that you own, you want to, especially anything expensive, you need to keep insured. So that can cost you as well. Yeah. Then you've got to eat, power, phone. It all starts. Wi-Fi, yeah. So it all starts adding up, unfortunately.
So getting back to your thing about your what was the thing that's become difficult? Was it a relationship? Was it not paying their way?
No, so the thing that was difficult with my daughter, it was more that like they were all very good friends and they knew going into it that they'd set some boundaries and some rules. But when they got into it, some of those boundaries changed. So one of them had a boyfriend that used to come over, he'd watch TV and use different things in the house. And he started coming over quite regularly, which he was more or less moved in and was living there. So that then again it changed what, when they moved in, it was different than what they first decided. So they made sure that they had meetings and discussed it, but still it didn't really work out. Still exactly the same. So, what's that? No, they didn't break out, they're still going strong.
He wasn't paid.